Wife has boyfriend, but won't allow me to have girlfriend. Double standard? Our marriage was originally opened because my wife developed an attraction for another man. I was originally reluctant to agree to this because I signed up for a monogamous marriage, but I decided I loved her enough to let her find happiness, whatever that looked like. Her boyfriend ultimately moved in with us and we do everything together, even sex most of the time. I learned I'm kinda into MMF sex, but sharing my wife outside of sex is not really my preference, but I tolerate it because it's what makes my wife happy. She has a full relationship with him, not just for play, and she tells him she loves him too. And I get along well with the guy. When my wife first brought up the idea of opening our marriage, she did a good job of asking me for my permission first before doing anything. That didn't necessarily make it easy, it was still very difficult to grapple with for a while, but I genuinely felt it would deepen our love for each other. So as hard as it was, I still wanted to go through with it, and we did. And generally, it's going fine. But during that conversation, my wife also told me that if I met someone I wanted to have sex with, she would let me as well. Intrinsically, I'm not a very jealous person, but she is more so. So I think she offered this out of fairness to me but didn't really expect me to do it. After she got with her boyfriend, I told her I was in fact interested in talking to other people as well. Not to get back at her or anything, but because a lot of things we discussed made sense, such as the idea that we can't expect a single person to fulfill all of our needs. And it got me thinking that maybe it was unfair to expect my wife to meet all my needs, while she didn't necessarily expect me to fulfill all of hers. So conceptually, she sold me on the open marriage thing, and I thought it made sense as a way to keep our emotional bandwidth at a healthy level. But when I actually started pursuing talking to other people, her demeanor towards it changed quite a bit. At first, I expressed interest in finding a girlfriend who I could visit outside of our throuple just occasionally, and she agreed to it. But then she changed her mind and said me making someone my girlfriend depended on the person. Then she said she would need to meet them before I could be intimate with them, which her boyfriend eventually talked her out of. And then, once I had met someone and was seeing them, she changed her mind again and said she could never be my girlfriend. And that was a hard boundary for her, that I was not to have a girlfriend. Only a friend with benefits. Needless to say, this caused my newfound relationship to fail because expectations of the relationship kept changing. At this point, I feel caught in the middle between wanting to respect my wife's boundaries and constantly questioning why it's okay for her to have a boyfriend while I can't have a girlfriend. She claims it's different because her boyfriend is living with us, while if I had a full girlfriend, I would be spending time away from home and her, albeit maybe only a couple times a week. Is there a double standard here? Or should I still respect my wife's boundaries, even if they're different from my own? For background, I think her boundary stems from past trauma around her experiences with other women. She's generally distrusting of other women. She's also more emotional and jealous than I am. I've tried to explain to her that it wasn't easy for me to accept her boyfriend either, but I still did it. But I feel like she got stuck on the hard part of that transition and couldn't get past it. At this point, I'm not sure what to do. While I do understand her fears, a large part of me does feel that it is unfair, and I don't like the feeling of existing to meet her needs but her not allowing me to meet my needs.